What it is? How's it going, everybody? Today we're going to be doing our legendary Magic Jar episode. We don't know what we're going to talk about, but whatever it's going to be fantastic, probably, interesting, vexing, thought-provoking, all the things that could probably be used to describe a New York Times bestseller, all that good stuff. So if you want to hear what we are talking about, sit back, grab a snack, grab a beverage, and listen on in to the first ones to die. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the First Ones to Die podcast. Hope you all are having an awesome time. As you can tell from me doing the intro, Jonathan is not here. He is actually catching a flight right now, so hopefully the flight went well. And Jonathan, if you're listening to this, we miss you and wish you safe travels on your return and going to, but on the return for sure. But I am still joined by my awesome co-host Alex. How you doing today, Alex?
Super. One day I'm just gonna have both of you gone and I have to do the intro for once. I don't think I have that energy you guys have at the beginning, so it's like, oh man, like I'm worrying for no reason. I'm not bad. It's been kind of a busy week, but not horrible. There was something that I do blame you for that happened.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely your fault. So I, assuming that the rest of my friends are normal, went and posted that video of you drinking milk on Snapchat. And one of my closest friends texted me. He's like, what's wrong with the drinking milk? And I'm like, no, dude, you're not doing this to me. No. And he's like, there's nothing wrong with it. I agree with your friend. I'm like, no, first of all, I apparently need to start interviewing the male friends.
You the one who's awkward.
No.
All right. You the one who don't want to drink milk. Like
everybody agrees with me. It's just the fact that two of my closest guy friends are milk drinkers just out of nowhere. And I was
well,
like,
my bones are strong. That's why I never broken a bone in my entire life. Know why? Because I drink milk.
I've never broken a bone in my life. And I don't drink milk just out of nowhere. And I told him, I'm like, who looks at their variety of drinks and goes like, yes, let me get milk. Like, why? His girlfriend does call him out about it. So she was the one who actually saw it. I like her. She saw it and then probably showed him. And then she apparently calls him out on it all the time, which I'm happy for because he lives in Oregon. So somebody's got to wrangle that because I'm not, that's too much.
You the one missing out. All right. I don't feel bad about
it. I've just learned something about such a good and dear old friend, and I blame you. I don't know how our relationship's gonna recover. I'm obviously not gonna kick him out of my life because I don't like making friends. Honestly, you guys made friends with no. To be completely honest, you guys made friends with me. And then I'm just like, okay, we're friends. You guys people have put in more effort to make friends with me than I do with them. Not because I'm trying to be a jerk or I don't think anybody's worth it. It's just more that I'm just really shitty at making friends. So y'all are stuck with me, and as I'm
You're never gonna get better if you don't keep trying, I try to make new friends all the time.
I don't know why. I know it's not I'm not trying to be funny. I'm being funny and not being funny because
no, I get what you mean.
Yeah, because I'm haha, I'm not being, but at the same time, I'm really not. I don't want to know more about other people's lives. I know about your guys' lives and I care about your guys' lives, and I feel like that's enough. Right? Why do I have to?
Well, yeah, because everybody's got those friends that are they're have friends that are more you call them friends, but they're really more like acquaintances. And then people who are actually your friends, you actually know more, about, the stuff they've got going on in their lives. You keep up with them, stuff like that.
That's how my new coworkers are, but I think they're kind of making friends with me or being friendly with me because they're worried I'm gonna leave. But the turnaround rate there and like the intensity of that whole place, I think they're all just worried I'm gonna leave because they constantly ask me, "How are you doing? Are you okay? How's it going?" I'm like, "We just fucking talked like 20 minutes
Please
ago.
don't go
Chill out. Nothing
nowhere.
happened."
Please.
I'm
Please
just
don't
ready
leave
for one
us.
of them. Be like, if I have a bad day, I'm ready for one of them. Be like, "Don't quit, don't quit. I just please don't quit." And I'm like, "All right, you all gotta calm down." Energy is so weird there. But anyway, I blame you. You started all this. You milk drinking bastard.
Listen, I
Anyway,
don't feel
how's your
bad
week?
about it at all.
You should. You absolutely should. You know what? I rewatched that video to get that clip, and I noticed something because it's actually near the end when I make those comments. It's near the end of the video. And I was like, how did I not notice this? Because you had the glass the entire episode. And I watched the video. Every time you took a drink of milk, I was looking another direction, or I was talking to each other, or like something else had. So literally, anytime I saw that cup, I looked at me and I was somewhere else. And I was like, it's like you stuck it in. And then and I saw it and I was like, has it been there the entire time?
Yes, I drank it from the top of the episode.
I didn't notice. I genuinely didn't notice. And if you watch the video, every time the cup appears, I'm like, I went somewhere else.
But
anyway.
So go watch that episode. I don't know which one it is right now. We have like, dude, I like.
It's the Adam Project. It's the Adam Project.
Oh, you're right. It's the Adam Project. But I was telling someone that I had a podcast, and they were like, "How many episodes did you? Oh, that's cool. Let me look it up. Like, how many episodes you guys got?" I'm like, "Oh, just like over 60." And they're like, "Over 60? I thought you were gonna say like 15 or something."
They're fun to make.
And I often forget like how many episodes we've made until like someone asks me like, or I talk about like a cool moment or a funny moment we've had, and then I have to try and remember like what episode it is, and I'm like, oh god, there's so many. I don't remember.
Just because I do the video editing and then I go through clips to get them, I'm like very well remembered now. And also there's just certain things that will connect to other things. I'm like, oh, that's definitely this episode. And then, but other times I'm like, when did I even buy that shirt? What is that? What am I wearing? Like you're suddenly in like a different place. And I'm like, yeah, we move a lot. Like our background, except for Jonathan, his background completely stays the same.
Because it's a white wall.
It's a white wall. But like you'll see just random shit. I'm gonna start putting random stuff in my background. Just like see if anybody can spot it.
Don't you already? Now you got the fish tank back there. I see it.
I have Gus, Yaskier, and a third fish to be named.
Tony.
No.
Comment below if you think Alex should name her third fish Tony.
Or give a real suggestion. What's like no offense to Tony's, but like you got Yaskier and Gus, and then you're just gonna throw a Tony in there. You can't do that to him. He's gonna be the laughing stock of the tank.
But overall, my week is good. I've been continuously watching Moon Knight. It's still not gripping me. I mean, it's not, and it like, but you know what though? This is kind of par for the course for all the Disney Plus shows. Is that like the first few episodes normally haven't like maybe except for Falcon, Winter Soldier, and Hawkeye. Like those two, I was like, all right, I'm in. Let me see where you're going. But the other ones have just been like, let me keep watching. Maybe it'll pick up, and then it'll grip me. And it's honestly because I think these shows are they're written to be binged, but they keep releasing them episode by episode. So it's like, if I was binging this, I feel like I would retain it, or I would be more into this than trying to watch it week to week. But I'm in the minority. Like as far according to the internet, everyone is loving Moon Knight like way more than I am. So
maybe they just gotten a little. I mean, they like Oscar Isaac. That could be a big part of it. And I do want to watch Moon Knight. It looks good. And ironically, I read Moon Knight, one comic, by accident.
Mm-hmm.
They had the comic posted on Tumblr, and it was the one with Dracula. And I was like, this is funny. What is even going on? I don't know what's going on. But I remember that one panel basically where Moon Knight's walking down some stairs. He's like, Dracula, where are you big nerd? Give me my money. And like that stuck with you through the years. I didn't know that was Moon Knight until I saw somebody putting that clip to him, and I was like, oh my god, I hope they have Oscar Isaac do this. This would be great.
Probably not, at least not the way it's looking from so far in the show. But they are doing, because Moon Knight, just to give you a little bit context, Moon Knight in the comics, his big thing as the years have gone on is that he has DID, dissociative identity disorder. So a lot of people are like, hey, maybe this will be Marvel's attempt to finally like have a superhero who has a mental condition.
Finally, they're all fucked up.
No, but not like Moon Knight. Moon Knight has like multiple, has like an actual issue before the powers. The rest of them are just like traumatized. That's different.
The Red Witch literally like imprison a whole town, Scarlet Witch?
Yeah, but that's depression. That's not the same thing as like multiple personality
that's depression.
Disorder. That's like a different.
My depression never has led to the enslavement of an entire town.
That's because you don't have the superpowers to do it yet. You know.
I'm not gonna enslave a whole town because I'm having a bad day.
Well, that's because you're also not a privileged. Well, I guess she's Slovakian, but let's be honest, she's a privileged white woman. All right, that's how she gets treated when in the Americas in the Marvel universe. It's why nobody gives her a hard time when she enslaves a whole town. Anyway,
she's also threatening to kind of blow them up too. I can see why people are a little resistant to going after her. What are we doing today, Jerome?
We're doing the Magic Jar episode. Now, for those who do not know what that is, it is normally an episode dedicated to when we don't have an idea for an episode. And so we have a magic jar filled with tons of like random suggestions or ideas or movies or some or other things that we've like thought about doing, but maybe just haven't gotten around to doing. And we throw them all in there, and Alex will pick one at random for us to talk about for the episode.
So now, granted, not a ton of ideas because I forgot to refill it.
Yeah.
So we have some ideas.
Now, granted, we call it the Magic Jar episode, but if you're watching this or listening to this, you've probably seen the title, which is said what we're going to talk about. But at the time of this recording, we do not know what we're going to talk about just yet until Alex selects something. So just know that that's why we've been candid. That it's not on purpose.
I thought we were having a nice time. Okay. It's also there we go.
I'm about to say, I was like, you picked a jar that wasn't easy to acquire.
Okay. Actually, this one I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts. Movie preference for horror movies. Would you rather watch series? Yeah, for a preference for if you have to watch a horror film, would you rather watch a serial killer or like a paranormal one?
Is it just those two, or can I say any?
No, it's for horror films.
Oh, just in general.
Yeah, horror films. Serial killer. Would you if you were offered to watch like Insidious and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which one would you pick? I don't suggest a new one. The one on Netflix is shit.
That's because it's slasher remakes are not where it's at in a lot of ways. Friday the 13th is probably the only one I relatively like. And Halloween. Halloween.
Well, Halloween did well. Yeah. But if you were offered one of those, because like you're not a fan of the paranormal supernatural thing,
nope,
in horror films, but like, so would you rather watch like people getting serial killed then?
Yeah, I mean, I'll watch a good slasher. Slashers are awesome. They're I think it's mostly just because at least my favorite slashers are the ones with the tropes for sure. Like the ones that try to be serious, where it's like, no, we're gonna really make a movie about a serial killer. I'm just like, all right, this is kind of like creepy and comes to a little too close to home. But Jason, Michael Myers and stuff, it's like, all right, that's like entertaining, because like these people don't exist. I mean, if they do, the story will not be the same as like, oh yeah, I shot him like 8 times, but he still keeps coming. He got hit by a car that one time, but he still keeps coming.
So you like the slasher films, but like, what if it's not based off a true story, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Well, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is like loosely based off true stuff, right?
It's like based off like a bunch of them, mostly one in Wisconsin who was found wearing somebody else's face. But hell, in Florida, some man tried to eat another man, and apparently he wasn't high on bath salts. I learned that. Florida's a whole nother world down there.
Of course. I look forward to every time when I go to news sites. I'm like, where's the Florida man story? Florida man is always out there somewhere.
My Florida man, because you can search Florida man and like the day you were born, and you just look up the news article and what Florida man are you? Mine fell on an axe. Apparently he was swinging an axe and he like was swinging it like this and like right into his chest, and or like he swung, tripped, and then this all of it just right into his chest. So I was like, mine's just stupid. That's not fair.
Hey, you know, it happens to the best of us. Sometimes, you know, an axe just be laying there and then you just be thinking to yourself, oh no, I'm slipping the whole time.
So as we've already gone farther from the conversation, my birthday's on Saturday, or was on Saturday when you're listening to this. And I'm going on Saturday with my sister and my sister-in-law to go throw axes.
I've seen the commercials for that. And a friend of mine just went on a date recently, like a few weeks back, or to that place to like throw axes. That's out here.
I think I tried to say it to my mom, and I kept saying, "I'm like axes," and she's like, "What access to what?" I'm like, "Axes." I'm like, God damn it!
Throw some access to everybody.
I think I'm saying axe. What do I sound like I'm saying? Axes.
Yeah, as axes.
You hear the axes? You hear
like
the
tool.
Yeah, okay. Then it's her. It's not me now. I prefer I love my mom. I prefer paranormal and supernatural films. Because I feel like you can pretty much time when like in a slasher film or like a serial killer film, when the person's gonna pop out. The only one I will give credit to is like Scream. They always did it well because they're like, oh, this is when the killer pops out, and nobody pops out, and then all of a sudden it comes from another place, and you're like, damn it, they did get me. They got me with the cheap scare, but they got me. With paranormal stuff, it's just like it's so creepy, and like they'll give you wind up sometimes, like with the creepy little like suddenly the children's toys are playing, and then you just see one little thing, and then like it's the next morning. So I like the wind up a bit more.
My biggest thing about paranormal movies though is that it's like, and it also depends too, because like something like a 13 Ghosts, I can do that, and that's not so bad. But like Paranormal Activity is where I kind of draw the line, where I'm just like, all right, now y'all are just like getting a little too close to home, right? Ghosts are real. They be out here.
That wasn't a ghost. That was a demon.
Same difference though. Like demons are
no, demons have never had a human form. Ghosts were living people.
Also,
that's what people do.
The demons of Paranormal Activity though are so stupid. It's like, why are you wasting time playing these pranks on people? If you're gonna possess them, just possess them. You don't need to be like throwing their furniture, like throwing their pots and pans around in the kitchen real quick. Or just to like creak the door just a little bit. You know, I'm just gonna put a little bit like that.
The whole point is to wear them down mentally. But you know what? To like freak them out, it wears them down mentally. It's like they're tired, so they can't fight.
Why waste the time when you could easily find a dumb person and just possess them? They don't have the mental fortitude to fight off a demon possession anyway.
I mean, I was talking to my sister about this. I'm like, you know, if we were ever actually haunted by a ghost, we wouldn't know, because my sister's really bad ADHD and I got some issues too. Like a cabinet could be open, like all the cabinets could be open, and I could walk back in the kitchen and be like, was I looking for something? Is there a reason all these things are open? God damn it. Now, what was I looking for? Or like something could go missing, and I'm like, I've lost things in this tiny apartment. I've lost multiple things. So it's like a ghost could happily like haunt me, do all these little tricks. I'm not gonna notice the thing.
I'm just saying, I'm just like, it feels weird. Like every time I watch the Paranormal Activity movies, I'm always just like, why are we wasting all the energy and effort to possess like and then on top of that, you know what I just thought of too, now that I'm thinking about it? The other thing is some of the demon like like whenever they have the demon movies, some of the ways they choose to kill people is so dumb. And I'm like, I want to hear these pitches in hell to Satan that allows them when he for him to give them the green light to go up to earth and do these real quick. Because you ever there's, I think I forget what the movie's called, but it's like, and I'll have to look it up, but it's like this like demon possessed app that people are like
Are you talking about Countdown?
Countdown. That's the movie where it's like, I'm like, I want to hear their pitch to Satan real quick and be like, look, all I'm saying is, you know, like it's gonna be like kids. What are the kids into? Apps right now. So we can go out here, start possessing people, right? Then I'm gonna start killing them. That's like, and that's the whole thing. They're gonna download it off the Play Store or the Apple Store, whatever.
Well, then actually that works because like you have to go with the times. No, they actually touched on that in Good Omens, Neil Gaiman's book and the show on Amazon Prime. Watch it, I love it. There's Aziraphale the angel and Crowley the demon. And like throughout the years, Crowley is like advancing as a demon, being like how to mess with the humans properly. He's like, look, like people are like, oh, I tempted this guy, and in like 30 years, we're gonna have his soul. And Crowley goes like, I knocked down the entire service cell phone towers in the whole of London area. Nobody's gonna be able to call anybody. And they're like, what does that do? He's like, are you serious? That's definitely gonna make people like riot and fight and stuff. So it's like more clever. I think it's more, the movie was stupid. It wasn't a good movie by any means. It was a stupid film. But the premise is not bad. The demons are like thinking like, all right, how do we fuck with the humans?
I'm just
their
saying,
phones, the tiny devices that never leave their hands.
The next horror movie is gonna be, listen, so there's this app, right, called TikTok. We just gotta get on there, start making some videos that'll make people start following. Then they're gonna start selling their souls, and then we're gonna be able to get more souls even faster. I'm just gonna have to do a dance real quick. Start twerking some cheeks or something.
Why is your demon sounding like a jazz musician from the 20s?
Because I like to play jazz. That's, I don't know.
We're like really good.
That's what demons sound like to me in my head. And they're down there plotting.
Like a Louisiana jazz musician? Nah, Mississippi. I felt like
just gonna get on the TikTok, do the zippity zap, zip zap zap, you know, do a little scatting and bebopping.
There is a movie, and I actually might live stream watch it on Twitch because a lot of people want to see the terrible movies. They want to pay for the terrible movies, but I love watching terrible movies. I don't even know how to pronounce this movie, and I'm so excited to see it. It's the Velocipaster.
Oh yeah, I've seen Velocipaster. It's terrible.
Have you watched it? Yeah.
But that's what makes it so good, is that it's terrible.
Oh, now terrible movies are good when they're supposed to be terrible. Shut up.
No, those are movies that were not meant to be terrible, but people that's all they had the budget.
You can't tell me
so
Velocipaster was not meant to be
terrible. I have heard some worse ideas, all right?
He is like a ninja fighting pastor who turns in. Well, actually, he's a priest. He's not a pastor. This is technically an error.
Yeah, but Priest does not rhyme with Velociraptor.
Paps.
Yeah, drink the Coke, have a smile.
I need sugar or something. At work, there's a patient I don't know how to pronounce. Their name is one thing, and I keep calling them other names. So the MAs will look at me, like the medical assistants will look at me and be like, who are you talking about? I'm like, this patient. And they're like, oh, you mean this person? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I can't do it. Like the person was in the office. I'd spoken to them, but for some reason my brain's not collecting their name. Next one.
But I was just, like possession movies, are not my jam. Serial killers though, and then like if it's a demon thing, it has to be something that's stupid. Then I can watch it. But when they try to be like, now that being said though, I do not doubt that movies like Insidious and The Conjuring, like the main Conjuring movies, not the spinoffs, are really good. I just haven't watched any of them.
I will say the first Conjuring was pretty spooky, but the second one really got me. It was actually pretty scary. And that's because, and I'm really hoping they make a movie for it, The Crooked Man. That was the spookiest part to me. The Crooked Man with the crooked smile and the crooked walk. That was, really scary to me. And I actually enjoyed that a lot. Insidious films, the first one was good. And then I think I liked the last one because they kept going. But after a certain point, it was
like 4 of them?
I think they made, about 4. I think the last one is like The Last Key, too. And it's so weird because they do it in reverse order. they go backwards. So technically, watching The Last Key it would be the first film to watch, and then you go that
I
way, and
thought
it's
the
a
second one
timeline.
takes place after the first one.
Well, yeah, but then the next two are like almost prequels, but not prequels because it only follows her life.
Yeah,
The
I know
second one was boring. There's too many
the
talking.
fourth
Too much
one
talking.
isn't the fourth one where that girl gets hit with a car and it's like visceral.
Oh, I think that's actually the fifth one. No, wait, no, it's the third one.
I know there's one where a
I
girl
don't
gets
know.
hit with a car and it's like it does not cut away. Like you see her get hit and then drag across
Yeah.
the ground, and I was like, God dang, y'all,
Tuck and roll.
y'all ain't playing no more. And City's like, nah, look, it's like the jig is up, right?
We need to show you that she can't really run away. You can't be like, oh, she didn't get hit. No, she got hit.
No, she got straight across the ground.
I was super excited that Tesla almost hit my car. Like, great, total my car. I can get a new one.
Yeah, you're just gonna start suing.
This one, I would definitely a Tesla. Oh my God, I could afford a new car. If it hits me, it's on insurance. Fun fact, I don't know.
Fun fact.
It's just fun fact.
I don't
also
have
remember
many fun
people
facts about myself.
that we like did this, like be like, oh, just put this in here and just put this in. So we don't actually remember what's in here. So fun fact must have been when we did fun facts.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have any fun facts about myself that I can really like share that I think it would be like actually interesting.
I am very open about everything. So I've shared multiple forms of fun facts with me. I mean, actually, I did a whole episode about my sexuality when we did Pride, like way back at the beginning. So like, I don't think I ever hide too much. Oh, I don't anymore. I used to be very secretive as a child. Can't think of anything. There's nothing we don't know about you or any secret talents.
I mean, I growing up in church, we had a hip hop dance thing, so I can kind of break dance. So that's probably like my one fun fact. Is that
don't be a
I was in a
stereotype.
break dance troupe when I was a kid, which I still like to dance now. It's just now it's like, you know, I don't have a group or anything. I kind of just like dance around my house, around my apartment.
I mean, that's a great form of exercise. Oh,
it is.
When I was younger, I wanted to learn to be a sword swallower.
Why?
I saw it and I thought it was cool. And so I actually this sounds kind of gross. I can actually put things pretty far down my throat. And I learned how to you don't do it. Do not do it. I did it once. Don't do it. It didn't hurt me, but don't do it. Because I saw how they were training somebody to learn how to do this. I did put a coat hanger down my throat. I got it pretty far. And then like afterwards,
why coat hanger? There's like
it's
other
thin.
things you could have chosen.
No, it's a wire one, a thin one. You go like even from skinny to bigger
like
to thicker.
It's sharp though. It's metal. You could have accidentally poked something in there.
I was trying to learn how to swallow a sword. Okay, sharp and pointy was like kind of the thing I was aiming for.
Well, I don't think the swords are sharp on the edges, right?
No, they're dull. They're dull, but they're still pointy.
So it's different.
No, a hanger is dull on the edges. What kind of hanger do you think I'm not talking about like a hanger. I'm talking about like a wire hanger that you stretched out.
That's what I'm saying. A wire hanger is pointy at the end.
Right. So is a sword.
You can dull the end of a sword.
It is still a point. Point is, I stopped after a while because I was like, I kind of just lost interest.
That reminds me of when I was in college. I used to at SCAD in Savannah. I guess that's another fun fact. I went to SCAD for all of like 2 quarters. So not really like enough to say I've been to the school, but not enough to say like I was an alum. When I was there, they had it's art school, so they had a circus club, and so I went to one of their like showcases they had, and it was actually pretty cool. They had some cool students. One of the most interesting was a girl who was like a hula hoop girl, but she had one hand, and she was incredible. She was really good. I had never seen anyone perform with a hula hoop that way. And she was incredible. And also they had like a stilt walker. I don't think they had a sword swallower or anyone with like flames. Like fire twirlers or fire swallowers, but
I want to be a fire twirler. I do want to learn to do that.
But it was still really cool, and it made me go like, man, circus club's pretty cool. I mean, I'm not gonna join, but
why not?
I don't think I have a circus talent. Like, I don't have anything that like I'm good at that I think would appeal to like circus culture.
Well, you never know. I mean, I still not trained a sword swallower, but you learn stuff. You just can learn it. You can learn things. I like to do that. I like to learn random skills. Just because it's funny when people see that I have these skills. Like I can open a wine bottle with my shoe. Well, I'm Mexican. We can open up a bottle any way.
As long as you don't open it the way Nate Jacobs opens beer bottles in Euphoria, where he just bites the top off and just like, I'm like, your teeth.
So I have that instinct though. I do want to learn. Recently I learned this, and this is gonna. I apologize, Mom, because my mom's not gonna like that I'm telling everybody this. I learned how to light a match with my boobs.
Like with friction, or
like with the with the cleavage going like that.
Oh yeah,
like
yeah,
I gave myself
skin,
right, but you can't just you can't like it's hard to do it just on your skin.
Well, I mean, just like for example, people take like the match like this and then like use their thumbnail to just like spark it like that. So
yeah, it's rough. But I learned
dry enough skin, you could be able to like match.
I don't have dry skin. Excuse you.
Well,
that's what makes it difficult.
That was one thing.
I put lotion on every morning, every time I go to bed.
Well,
once I get out of the shower.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to accuse you of having dry boobs. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Very rude.
That's very rude.
You insulted them. They, they work hard. They get me free drinks. They do a lot. Let's see if there's some fun facts about us. See, this is why I can't make new friends.
Here's the thing, though. You can't keep like as long as you're not keeping, using your bra as like a wallet, like a pocket.
What are you talking? Definitely, I do that.
Why?
Because girl pants don't have that much room, and secondly, like sometimes you want to make sure things don't like get. I mean, like I've lost money in my boobs, and it's not until I take off my bra that like a 20 will fall out sometimes.
I'm just saying, it's like if it's a warm day outside, you're handing out wet money.
Oh no!
Like all these cashiers.
Oh, see, now you're talking about like people like who put it under. No, you put it like right here, right on the chest. I've carried my phone, my wallet here, chapstick. I've carried it all. If you just keep it in the strappy area, you're good. You're solid. You won't get the sweaty boob money. Also, you can just use a wallet. I've had my straight up wallet right there. I think it's an extra area where we can definitely store stuff. My favorite part of the day is when I get to take off my bra and see what falls out. Like what food fell down there.
Interesting.
One time after working at the theater, like a bunch of M&Ms fell out. Like I was a little disappointed myself.
That's me when I like ride around in my car, because I'll like get food in my car all the time, and then like after I get out is when I like have all these French fry crumbs just like in my jacket and shit, and I'm just like, oh my god, what the heck is this?
There was a day I was with my sister, and she's like, we were in the car, and I think I forgot what we ate. She just like, you are covered in food. And I went to go do this. She's like, not in my car. She's like, it is all on you. She's like, did you even get it in your mouth? And I'm like, yeah, I'm full. So I'm assuming, yeah. But
the parts that was important.
The parts, the non-flaky parts, the parts that didn't jump to their death. They were willing to go into my mouth.
The sandwiches and whatnot. Like the sandwich parts in there, just the crumbs from the bread ain't
those, the crust, what does it really matter? Okay. Well, there's some fun facts about us, and it got really personal with me always. It always gets a little personal with me. Why? Because I don't have a filter too much anymore. That's it.
I feel like once you get a podcast, it's kind of like the more episodes you do, the more you're just like, man, I'll just talk about myself. Ain't no big deal.
That said fun fact on it too. What were we doing?
And more fun facts.
Jonathan TV show.
Okay, so well,
He's
we
not
know it
here.
would be Big Brother. That's exactly.
Dude, I watch it, man. It got like real. I don't
And
know
if
if I
not Big
wanted
Brother,
to.
it'd be some other reality TV show.
That's fair. He got Lauren into watching The Bachelor. He got me into watching Big Brother. And did he get Kaylee into something? I don't know, but he'll find a way. It was mainly like I watched it for Kyle, and then he left or he got kicked out of the house, and I'm still watching it because these people are so petty and dramatic for no fucking reason, and I love
It's a
it.
reality show. That's the name of the game.
It just reminds me of the old Mexican novellas. Well, they weren't Mexican. The old Spanish novellas I used to watch as a kid, where it's like these people are like on the brink of every emotion every second. It's
What
like,
is it with like every like minority culture and like they watch the soap operas, but only the soap operas that appeal to their culture?
representation.
Because it's like you have like there's a lot of Asian dramas of like varying kinds that like so many of my Asian American friends have been like, yeah, like my grandma used to watch like K dramas or J dramas all the time.
I
And
think
it's like there's
because
telenovelas, and then like I don't know if Black people have soap. Well, yes, we do. Now that Tyler Perry exists, we have soap operas for our people.
I watched the new Medea movie on Netflix. Super funny. There's a scene in Red Lobster where Medea's like, "This whole Red Lobster is full of hoes. Don't believe me?" And she sings a song, "Broke boys don't deserve no coochie." And like most of the women are like, "I know that's right." I was like dying. Such a funny scene. I'll post it on Instagram. I think they're just honestly American dramas are boring to me. They're just really boring to me. There's no like a lot of it is like sad walking away. Or like people like yell at each other and then it's like and then they go to their separate rooms and like they're hurting the feelings.
You know what it is? It's that it's when it's just white American dramas, it's like, or especially soap operas, it's too fake. Like dramas that are for our people are like normally very like to our culture, so it's like it's relatable. Versus white American dramas, it's like, and also it's my twin brother who also has been dead all this time until now.
They like get these like
evil.
weird story. Well, I mean, no, Spanish soap operas got like that too. But at the same time, you're right, it's relatable because like in Spanish soap operas, just in real life, we all got that one aunt. That one aunt, you don't really talk about what she's done, but also if you need something, you go to her. She's got it. I live right near like a fire station. I've recently learned after living here for almost 3 years. Yeah, it's like you have that one aunt. You don't talk about her past, but like she's done stuff. But like also if you need something, you just go to her and she'll do it. It's like that. Yeah, it's like the family member. I personally come from crazy and like a lot. So like the Spanish novellas really speak to that. I've seen everybody slap each other. I've slapped my own mom. No, now not in the way you are thinking, and now that I just said that out loud, it's not how you think.
Hey mom.
Actually it was a little like that. Like she was telling us to like slap if somebody, self-defense, like if somebody tries something, then you just slap them. And like my little 10-year-old self was like this, and I went and slapped her. Then I realized what I was doing, and then I was like, oh shit, I just slapped my mama. And I think I like ran to the other side of the room. I was like, she's gonna murder me.
No, I accidentally hit my mom once, and it wasn't even like it was hard or anything. It was just that she scared me. So when I turned, my instinct was to turn around and hit whoever it was that scared me, and I just tapped my mom on the arm.
No, I full on slapped her. She wasn't mad though. I think she was even a little proud. She tells me she was more shocked, and then she found it funny. I think she was a little proud how strong I was as a 10-year-old. Good Lord, my mother. But yeah, I think that's what it is. You're right. The story plots for like American dramas tend to just keep going overboard to more and more and more. And it's
extremes.
Yeah. And it's just like, you jump the shark like in the second season when like Spanish novellas or K-dramas start. They start kind of like just like the everyday life, and they get weirder and weirder and weirder, but it goes with the plot. It's a slow upscale until you're like, oh yeah, he's married to this guy who's married to this guy, but they're not married to that person, but they don't know that because they have to hide because their mother is actually his mother, and that makes them brothers.
Yeah, and it's
That works.
always it's like the thing about Tyler Perry's dramas. The problem is like they're deceived in Black culture, but only in like the most generic ways. Like someone's going to church, some Black lady is like, you know, a single Black mama just trying to make it out here, but she also wants a good Black man to take care of her. And there's also, of course, the other one who's like, she's the young hot you know, friend of the single Black mama, but she just can't find a good man, but she's also out here sleeping around. You know, it's all those tropes. But then it becomes a thing where it's like where it becomes like, okay, but like some of this is crazy, right? Like some of the, like for example, he has one where I forget what it's called. Oh, If Loving You Is Wrong. And there's a girl on there who's like a 911 call operator, but you never see her at work, like ever. And even when she is, all she ever does is like talk to her coworkers about her relationship drama. She's
Well,
never
I mean, that's
working.
like Grey's Anatomy, where they never actually do anything. They're always just talking. Well, I mean, like Mexican, like I say Mexican because I have watched more Mexican movies like that, but you know, Latin movies in general have that same theme. Single parent doing all this stuff, blah blah blah, family against, but like families trying to take the kid, all this stuff. Um, and a good chunk of also those type of films tend to also be like a mother-daughter thing, where the mother's old school and the daughter's breaking new, and the relationship is torn, and maybe they'll build something new, and the mother accepts that the younger one is being independent in herself, and like the new generation accepting the old or you know, vice versa, old generation accepting the new accepting the old, you know, moving forward, but not breaking, not losing your tradition, being proud of who you are. And like it's always coming down to be proud of who you are, which like that's great.
No, not Tyler Perry dramas. There is no
No,
be proud of who you are. It's how much more like crazy can we make this? Like there's one character, one of his main characters in his soap opera, The Haves and Have Nots, where she started out as just a temptress woman sleeping with the governor. And now at this point, I stopped watching the show after a while. But
I
when I left
loved,
off,
hold on, I just love the way you said temptress.
yeah,
Like you said it with like everything.
and now at this point, or at least when I fell off, she had already been a pimp, someone who like a billionaire at one point, like like a kidnapped by a group of like white criminals who didn't do anything, by the way. Like even despite what the show wants you to believe, the show wants you to feel like, wham, man, she's really been through it. But if you look at every scene with them, all they ever did was lock her in a room with a bag over her head for an extended period of time, and that's it. So I don't know if that's torture, but it probably is for some people.
The unknown.
But it's like, I don't know, I guess. And then like, and then what else has she done? And then also she's like had a had extent, you know, like the pimp part especially was really interesting, where she had like with this one girl and this one dude who worked under her, and she was like their mistress, and it was like, okay. So, and I'm sure it's gotten even crazier after that.
I haven't watched many novellas nowadays. I don't really watch dramas nowadays. But I should go back and watch a novella and see what, like, because it's also been like 20 years since I last really watched one. And anytime I did watch one, it was one of the old ones. You know, from God, the 90s. So like I'm curious to see what it's turned out to be now, because I do watch quite like I've watched a couple the K dramas. Is that what they're called?
Yeah, like Korean dramas.
Yeah, Korean dramas. I know there's a like it's K drama.
K dramas, yeah.
K drama, Korean dramas. They're actually really good, and they don't result to, well, I'm sure some of them do, but the ones I've watched don't go to like the weirdest like things. It's really like a main focal point. There's one that's coming out, and I'm super excited to watch it. It's supposed to come out this month, I believe. Damn it. Just look at the bottom of the screen, and I will go ahead and just put it there. Like, look here. was gonna think if you're listening to the audio, well, you're just screwed. Figure it
You're
out.
just gonna have to do what we say every week, which is go on over to the YouTube channel at The First Ones to Die to find all types of extra content, including but not limited to filmed versions of every podcast. So go on over there. Do it now. Pause.
Nice.
Pause the whole thing. In fact, we're gonna stop talking to just give you a second to pause, so that way you don't want to listen to dead air. So here we go. We're gonna stop talking right now. Did you do it yet? Did you go to the YouTube yet? If not, you had a chance.
Things got like go to YouTube because I'm gonna just post random shit while we're doing quiet.
I'm just curious. Just like, did you go?
What's your favorite trope?
Favorite trope?
Enemies to lovers.
That's a good one.
As we were just talking about the D&D game, I was like, I want an ex-husband who hates me but loves me. So yeah, no, mine has I guess romantic wise, mine has definitely always been enemies to lovers. And there's this girl on TikTok that's like, oh, what's your favorite trope says about you? And they're like, enemies to lovers. You want somebody to see the worst of you and still love you. I was like, why are you attacking me this early in the morning? It's like 6 a.m. when I saw it. I was like, this is rude. Don't go for me like that. But yeah, definitely enemies to lovers or yeah, no, that's always been my favorite one, I think. What about you? What is like a
I like a good road trip story. Like the road trip of two unlikely people like on a road trip together. Stuff like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, where it's like interesting to me to see like two people on a trip somewhere, but they have to stick together. It always is interesting and fun. The last one I watched was probably I don't remember. I can't remember movies right now. My head is like, I don't know, just all over the place.
We'll let me know later. We'll put it on the screen.
But here, well, I'm gonna look it up right now. But it's a movie by HBO, starring Barbie Ferreira from.
I thought you were gonna say it's like a Barbie movie. I was like, what?
No, no, Barbie. I think it's Ferreira, right? Is that how you spell her last name? Yes. No, not Euphoria. I mean, that's the one thing she's known. That's Unpregnant.
That's what she's known for.
It's called.
Unpregnant.
It's a movie about this girl who is pregnant and she's in high school and she's trying to. She's not legally able to get an abortion without a parent's signature. So she's going across state lines to another state where it is legal to do that. And she calls on the help of her like a kind of distant friend, played by Barbie Ferreira, who like she used to be friends with, in high school, but is like grown apart from as she's, as you tend to do when you're in high school. And the two of them go on a road trip together because Barbie has a car. She doesn't have a car. The main character doesn't have a car. And so she agrees to take her over there to get an abortion. And it's very mature. It's very interesting, but it's a great movie. I really advise that that if you have the time, it's on HBO Max, you watch it.
I was going to make an inappropriate joke, but I'm going to just move forward with that. Technically, our name is based off a trope.
That's true. I often, every time I tell people why our podcast is named what it is, everyone laughs. They're always like, "Oh my god, it's so funny."
I like the ones who get like, they're like, like a little offended, but it's like, but am I wrong though? And like, secondly, you ain't gotta be offended. Like, it's me. Yeah, the first ones to die. We chose that name because we are a completely POC cast, or I guess host, and those are usually the characters who die first in films. It's usually it is pretty much just any person of color will die at the beginning of films. When it comes to horror films, slasher films, things like that. So we just took it a little more literal and was like, hey, who's going to die first?
You're a woman, so you might also be like definitely in danger
Yeah,
of
women
being
of color will
both a
die.
person of color and woman.
Yes, but I'm also lighter skinned than you guys, so that might play in my favor.
The thing is
But
too,
also I'm also less likely to have a love interest in horror film. In any,
which is
I'm
like the kiss
ironically
of
that I
death.
love.
If you don't
Yeah,
have no love interest, like if
yeah. So
you're
like
not macking it with the main dude of the movie, or
honestly,
actually
you
horror
know,
movies more like the main girl. So if you're not macking it to the main girl in the horror movie, the final girl, then
that's true. So
boom.
I mean, I could, but I don't want to. So like I'm screwed. So that like lowers my. I feel like we should start having a point system. Like one day we should figure out who would die at the beginning of film.
Jonathan, he's too nice.
It's only
He's not cutthroat enough to just abandon his friends in the game. Like if a monster was to show up and just start eating people.
I wouldn't abandon. I've actually told people I just leave
I'm
them
about to
behind.
say,
Right.
you said that you would abandon him.
No, I wouldn't. If you go down a damn dark, stairwell into an empty, that's your own damn fault if you get murdered. All right. My mama raised me better. So like that's not my fault if you die down there. But if you're like getting eaten by something, I'll try to pull you out. That wasn't your fault. It's your own fault you're dying. Don't go into creepy basements. That's like a golden rule. Don't look in the box that's in the attic. Don't play with the weird little puzzle box that you just find one day in an old room. Just leave, don't touch things. Although I touch things a lot, I don't play with creepy puzzle box. I think it's fairly simple. So yeah,
like at least the one in what's it called? Hellraiser, it doesn't look that creepy. It just is like odd looking.
yeah, but I actually have that box hiding somewhere. I got it at Comic-Con. It came in like a mystery box. It just has a lid though. It's not an actual puzzle thing. So yeah. But yeah, we're named after trope. One day we'll figure out who would actually die first. I don't know. Jonathan's much taller than both of us.
So,
well, by a few inches. So he's got the long legs that can run.
Oh,
he's taller
I see what you mean.
Yeah, no. He's got the long legs. He can run. So, I mean, that would leave me behind. Although when my life's in danger, I'm going to go.
Do you think out of all of our guests, Kaylee is the one to survive because she's the only white woman?
Probably. You know what? I think Jasmine would actually die first.
Why?
Because
Jasmine didn't.
No.
Bet Jasmine first. I think
No,
Jasmine would be
because she would be
further
that
down the
character that would leave first because she's smarter than us. But then because she left first, we're like, oh, she's just gone. Jasmine went home. She's safe and sound. Like she's not dealing with us. And then we find her body.
Oh, that she like died. She's one
Yeah,
of those
she
characters
died.
who like goes home
Yeah.
and they're like the least expected to die.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, they were smart. They left before all the things happened.
But the killer accounted for that, and they're already there waiting for her.
Yeah, but they were really not letting people go. So in that like movie where they're like not letting people go, she would definitely die first because she's smarter than us, and she would definitely try to leave first. But she's also a woman of color. So
I don't know. I mean, Brandy
I don't think
survived.
she can
leave. What's the movie? Like, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Or whatever.
Summer. Yeah, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. They made a show of it on Amazon. I don't know why.
They've made a lot of shows based off horror movies. Did you ever watch the Exorcist show that they had on Fox?
Yes, I actually enjoyed the first season because it had a tie to The Exorcist. It was actually pretty good, but the second season got stupid so quickly.
And then they made one called Clarice that was supposed to be about it's like spin-off of Silence of the Lambs. That's just about Clarice.
They made one about Damien Omen.
That's right. Yeah, they did. And they also made a lot of them because there's also Hannibal.
Hannibal did well though.
Hannibal did do well. People love Hannibal.
Yeah, Hannibal did well.
People love Hannibal, and then also people love Bates Motel.
That's actually another trope with Hannibal, because it's a bit like it's queer baiting. It's definitely queer baiting because they have these like two initial characters who are always very close friends, but like they belong together more than the characters' love interests. They have more chemistry. but you just dangle it in front of us, and it's just like not fair.
Hannibal Lecter gay though?
Yeah, but Will's not.
Oh well, yeah.
So it could have worked. You could have, but it's the blonde who thinks he can't love, and then you have the dopey brunette who won't leave him alone, which goes back to on the show Merlin from BBC, Merlin and Arthur, Witcher, Jaskier, and Girl. Sherlock Holmes.
Not blonde. He just has white hair. It's just stark white.
You know what I mean. Good Lord, nitpicky. Although, okay. Oh my God. The show Our Flag Means Death. It's on HBO Max.
I hear it's good.
It is so good. And they give you what you want. They don't bait you. It actually has pretty good representation. And it's a good show. And I loved it. And I didn't enjoy really the first episode. It was a little felt long to me. But of course they're explaining stuff. And my brain wants to move past all that. But then I always have to go back and be like, what the hell happened? It's such a good show, and I end up falling more in love with it. And they don't lose any of the pirateness either, because he's a gentleman pirate. So the captain looks very nice, but then all the other pirates are gross still. All of them are still gross. And then you have Blackbeard who comes on board, who Blackbeard is played by
Is it Taika Waititi, please?
Yes. And he is also the creator of the show. And spoiler, if you want to go watch Our Flag Means Death, go now. And then just skip over 15 seconds, jump 30 seconds. He kisses the other main character, but he was talking about it in an interview. He's like, it was weird. Not because I was kissing another guy. He's like, I've done that before. He's like, it was weird because he's like, I've known this man for a very long time. We're very close friends. He's like, we're also old. He's like, and I watched that scene after that interview. I'm like, there is a touch of awkwardness to this, that you can go that it's it's the way the characters are being played. No, that's their real friendship seeping in, where they're you can try to tell they're not trying to laugh at kissing each other. And it made the scene more adorable to me. But no, our Flag Means Death. It's fantastic. It's a really good show. I watched it, and I actually rewatched it fairly quickly too, because I was like, this is just
all
so good.
Of it out?
Yeah, it is now out.
Oh, okay.
Which, of course, it's gonna break your heart, because all queer shows do that. Can't have one nice queer show. Always get screwed over. Nobody can have a happy ending. But anyway, that's another trope I enjoy. The sad blonde who can't feel love, but then gets the dopey brunette.
Who is that in the Grindelwald Dumbledore relationship?
Well, it's the one who's like, no, you don't want me, you don't love me. Was it Dumbledore who was like that?
I don't know.
Or was it just
the most recent movie that's coming out, I think tomorrow at the time of this recording, is supposed to be
okay,
more getting deeper into their relationship of how they feel the way they feel.
You're also talking to a person who has seen one Harry Potter movie and the first Fantastic Beasts, and that's it. You're talking to the wrong person.
Funny enough, Mads Mikkelsen is replacing Johnny Depp as Grindelwald in the third one, which is actually kind of weird, because it's Colin Farrell played kind of Grindelwald in the first one. Johnny Depp played Grindelwald in the second one. Then the controversy hit, so then they recast, and then they fired him, and now Mads Mikkelsen is playing him in the third movie. It's God damn, but
it's not that hard to replace people in wizard movies, because I do know there's a potion where they drink it and they change. So it's oh, okay.
Well,
it feels like it's a cheat.
Johnny Depp, the first, that was the one in the first movie. Colin Farrell turns into Johnny Depp, because it's supposed to be that Grindelwald's been undercover. But I don't think they're gonna do that for the third one. I think it's just that Mads Mikkelsen is just gonna show up and be yeah, I've been Grindelwald the entire time.
It was me.
It was me. Hannibal.
No. It's me, Grandmama from Anastasia.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen a movie in a long time.
All right. I love Anastasia.
Do you want to do one more?
I want
an
her
hour.
dress. Yeah, let's do one more. I've always wanted Anastasia's dress. That's the only, I guess, princess's dress I've ever wanted. That pretty gold one. And I want a giant blue bow. Ah. Okay.
I like Rasputin in that movie.
I think it's the whole. Jerome, pick a TV show.
A TV show.
Like we're on our last seconds.
I have to pick one that like that I think you've seen before.
Well, just mention one.
You know what? Actually, we don't ever get to talk about SpongeBob on this show very often. Like the only time we've ever mentioned it is our Squidward debate on whether or not he's a villain or anti-hero. But we don't actually get to talk about this show that like all three of us, Jonathan included in that, talk about all the time. And like our private time.
You know what's funny though too? Also, when we went to LA, like we all were hanging out together, and what did we put on? SpongeBob. Put on the SpongeBob movie. So like, yeah, no, SpongeBob still has an impact on us, I guess.
I love that show. Actually, thinking of Nickelodeon shows, they had apparently they're like on Paramount Plus is like a live action Fairly Odd Parents show where Timmy is like
with Drake Bell
or something. No. Those are the old movies. No, this is a new show. That's like Timmy is like lets his cousin or something like borrow his fairies like Cosmo and Wanda, but Cosmo and Wanda are animated. They're not live action. Just the kid playing Timmy and all the other characters. And like the whole thing is in live action with just like Wanda and Cosmo being animated.
I see.
So weird.
I'll go ahead and put the poster and show it. I see what you're talking about. I mean, they already did weird stuff they made with the Drake Bell one, they made him 3D.
Yeah, they did that. They're doing that for this CG. One too, where they're 3D.
No, they keep them cartoon.
Well, they're still 3D animated. They're not like 2D.
But you know what? They weren't like that bulky Jimmy Neutron style.
Oh, yeah.
These still look like they could have been drawn on paper. Jimmy Neutron, did you ever watch that show?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Love that show. I like the dad. The dad was always my favorite part.
Hugh Neutron.
Hugh Neutron favorite? Was the best.
Hugh is, I don't know how Judy did it. I really don't. She has a child with this man.
Clearly, it semi-worked out because like the kid's also kind of a brat.
I don't know. Maybe he's just like a monster in the sack or something. That's what it is. Is that she's just like, I'm not giving this up. Are you kidding me? I don't care if he's dumb. Like,
he's funny. He always made her smile.
That's fair. That's fair. He did always know how to make her laugh.
Yeah, especially when you got a kid who's literally sometimes destroying the world.
And you need smarter than you.
Yeah, you need somebody to be like, hey, it's okay. So like also he makes her feel smarter in a way. Because he was kind of dumb.
That's sad.
I like
that's really
my I guess so, yeah. Well, he was too dumb to notice. My favorite episode, and I always remember you woke up Cheddar with your laughter.
Poor Cheddar.
My favorite episode is when Hugh Neutron thought the world had ended, or he thought he was the last man on the earth. So he just went around eating pies. Like he was walking around with a stack of. This is what he did when he thought like he was the last person on earth. He ate a bunch of pie, and that's when I felt like connected to this man because I'm like, I'm not doing anything. The world ended. I'm just gonna go eat. Yeah, why not?
I don't think I have a favorite Jimmy Neutron episode, mostly just because I can't remember them all. But I did love the characters in it. Although it got a little crazy once they tried to start doing spinoffs, like when Sheen got his own show, and I'm like, Sheen. Yeah, of all characters, he gets his own show out of all the Jimmy Neutron people.
Right around the time I stopped watching cartoons as much. Now I'm back to watch. He like was a superhero on some.
He got sent to like an
alien planet.
Yeah.
What's your favorite SpongeBob episode though?
Favorite SpongeBob episode? When they all become like the Justice League. When like Mermaid Man's like.
Oh yeah.
Like when Barnacle Boy becomes evil, and so Mermaid Man gets all of them together to be superheroes, but their first mission, they are all terrible.
SpongeBob is like the Flash. Squidward
Yeah.
has volcano. Sandy turns invisible, and then she gets hit by the boat. A boat.
Yeah, which is that I don't know. I die laughing every time she's like, "I got this." Bam, it just falls off the cliff to the side.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
just like, oh my god.
All of the,
Freaking,
but I feel
Patrick
like
has
it's.
elongation powers. He can stretch.
And I think he just got. Oh, he was trying to stop SpongeBob or get it off
Yeah.
SpongeBob, and then he got tangled. Yeah, I remember that too. Yeah, that is a really good episode. I feel like a lot of with Barnacle Boy and Mermaid Man were actually pretty good
They were good.
because it gives you like a look into like your age superheroes and what they're kind of really like. But SpongeBob still kept that childlike wonder with them. My favorite episode is the night shift one.
Oh yeah, with the hash slinging slash.
Yeah, hash slinging slasher. And a big reason that's one of my favorite episodes is because of Jonathan. Because literally there's a point where we were both like we were nearing the end of school. Like we both graduated with our bachelors at the same time. And we were getting kind of delirious. You can tell we had been working a lot. We're doing school. Like I was doing a lot of classes. He was doing a lot of work. Every time we worked together at nighttime, every time we did something, we would say at night, like in the SpongeBob episode. And then we would watch it and then it'd be like at night. And like for like, I want to say almost a month, every time we're taking out the trash at night. Like that was like a whole thing. And then we realized like, all right, we're getting a little weird.
At night.
Yeah. It's like getting weird. And then I think there was one day everything just was just weird. I like was like crouching on the floor and I'm like, look, I'm a frog. And he's like, are you okay? And I'm like, no. And that's when I found a tiny dog in a sweater that I had to take to the vet. That's how my night ended. I'm not gonna give any
spark notes that are not even like a story. It's just
what there was a day we were doing the day we went from cartwheels and then I was leaning on the just stretching out on the floor and I was gonna get up and I was sitting on my like the haunches of my legs and then I was like, look, I'm a frog, and I did it. I'm a bullfrog. And then we just kept laughing hysterically. And then we were standing around and I put a pencil in my hair and made myself a who. Like that night wasn't like a flow. It was weird moments in time and frame. And like Jonathan was washing glasses and then he got up and he just like, for some reason ran towards the glasses machine, like full on sprinted. Like it suddenly was like calling him aggressively. And I was like, what the hell was that? And he's like, I don't know. And then like I got in my car and there was a tiny dog in a sweater that ran past my car and I picked him up. See, now everybody knows context. Well, I don't know if that's like context enough, but that's how literally the night went, to the point where like we got to go home and just go to sleep or something because nothing's getting better tonight. Things are going to get weirder if we try to go out or do stuff.
Yo, you remember when, thinking of shows, you remember when those times when we were working those shows when they had the Inhumans at the IMAX theater?
Oh my god, people left so disappointed.
They were like I don't know how you know that, because remember how it was almost impossible for us to even go there and people still be in the theater by the time the show ended. We kept showing, like we would walk in the theater and it'd be empty. It'd be like, God damn! The two people who were here just left hours ago.
That was so funny. The amount of times we had to call up and be like, there's nobody in the theater and the movie's already an hour and should we just stop it? And like the projectionist was usually like, yeah, I don't think there's a reason for us to keep going.
I was honestly surprised when we would call and the projectionist was there, because I'm like, I imagine they would just leave, go get a sandwich or something. Because
sometimes they did, or sometimes. I mean, honestly, the projectionist sometimes would put on their headphones, and a couple times it'd be like they're not hearing me at all. But then I guess some important to me. It was very rarely, but yeah, usually they would like disappear. My mom worked in a movie theater and she was talking about the projectionist she had in her movie theater, and it was, old school timey, film on a reel style. She's like, yeah, it was a small room he sat in, and then all the theaters were basically around him, so he would just turn around and just start clicking on like films or whatever and just watch all of them. Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm like up where they were. I'm like, they had a big space. It was nice.
Huge.
It was a huge computer thing, and I'm like, but they only touched the one screen. And she's like, yeah. And I was like, oh. And she's like, oh, I wonder if he's still alive. And I'm like, that he just made this whole moment a bummer.
Now, my
But
other favorite, my other favorite
No,
SpongeBob
you're
episode
good.
is the Man Ray episode too, when they like try to like redeem Man Ray and make him a better person, and they set the belt to tickle.
Well, I like remember the wallet part of that. This is your wallet, right? Nope, not mine. This is your ID. Yep. You have this type of wallet. Yep. So this is your wallet. Nope, never seen it before.
I just
like
love that when
that
he's
was
like,
like my favorite part.
Like, you son of a, I'm gonna rip your big arms off and beat you to death with them. Just like
His threats got real. Like
they got real for real.
I
was like, God dang, bro.
Like he was straight up like threatening so many things. I liked Man Ray. He was my favorite supervillain. I like the episode where everybody disappears in town because they have a no SpongeBob day. But they ended up all being gone for like a week. And they're like, yeah, we usually do this for like a day and you kind of forget. He's like, a day? You guys have been gone a full week. They're like, yeah, it got really crazy. It was super good. And Patrick got off the bus and he's like, even you? He's like, look, I'm your best friend and I love you, but even I need time away from the And I was just like, that feels so real.
That proves my point. All right. People are tired of SpongeBob. All right. In Bikini Bottom, I mean the people in his town.
I mean, SpongeBob's still like a weirdly cute sponge. I don't know. I never liked Sandy.
Sandy's my favorite character. I love Sandy.
I never liked Sandy.
Why?
I did like her song. I like when she sings. That squirrel has range.
I like Sandy. I think Sandy's cool because she's like the best of both worlds. She can have a good time and fun with SpongeBob and doing karate and stuff, but she's also not an idiot. So it makes for good content.
But she hangs around like idiots, and then she gets mad when they don't understand her.
Well, yeah, because she figures like it shouldn't be too hard to grasp. Like most of the time, it's simple stuff.
She's building like thermodynamic stuff, and then she's mad when they don't understand why don't touch the equipment.
I think it's more just that she knows that her friends will ruin it if they do.
I don't know. Sandy was just like I just was never really fond of her. She was never really I love Squidward. One of my favorite episodes is when Squidward goes to that town of Squidward and there's too many Squidwards. Like he's like, it's that whole thought, like, oh, I really want to hang out with people who are like me. And then you meet people like you and you're like, God damn, I hate me. Makes you question whether you like yourself or not. But that's the whole thing about friends. And like I mentioned this in the last episode. I have like now such a different variety of friends than I've ever had in my life. And I absolutely love it because everybody's so different. And I've got such a nice range now where like I can go ask, these questions, and I know this person might know something compared to like this person. I was asking because I have friends who are also willing to ask my ridiculous questions at times because I got sunburn on my face, but I didn't know it was sunburn. I thought it was my like rosacea, but I'm like, it feels kind of warm. And then I was talking to Jonathan and Tevin, and I was like, does sunburn hurt every single time? And Jonathan's like, no. And I'm like, I feel like I'm asking the wrong person.
I'm about to say, because he's wrong, it
right.
does. I know.
No. He said sunburn does hurt every single time.
Oh.
Yeah, and I asked that because I'm like, it kind of looks like sunburn, but it doesn't hurt. So Lauren came out of the back room. This was, of course, at the theater. And I was like, Lauren, I need a white person. And she looked so stunned for a second. And then I was like, no, I have a question. I'm like, does sunburn always hurt? And she's like, no, sometimes it just like gives you like really red coloring. And I was like, oh, can you look at my face? Can you tell me if this is sunburn or not? She's like, it is. Jonathan was like, oh, even Tevin was like, oh, like we learned something. And that's why I wear sunscreen now, because enough people have told me, hey, you'll still burn. Well, actually, I still don't really burn, but I get like what I'm assuming is a version of sunburn. But see, that's what I learned now. It's good to have variety of friends. Although
you never know what you
my
might
male
like.
friends apparently all drink milk out of glasses.
Not all of them, just the ones that are cool. And with that note, on that note, socials, here we go. Alex, where can people find you if they want to complain about your resistance to our milk drinking habits?
Just don't drink straight up milk. It's fine with like cookies or cereal or like even like fucking eat an orange with milk. I don't care, but just don't drink just milk. It's weird. And you can try to change my mind at Alex and Nobody, or message us on the Instagram, because I'm actually more on the podcast Instagram than I am on my own half the time. But Alex and Nobody on Instagram and on TikTok and randomly on Twitter. And TikTok is also where I post little clips of everything that's going on, give you sneak peeks about what we may be reading next in our bookcast, what our topics may be next, and just where I go to complain about the guys sometimes, because some of the videos are kind of like that. And the first ones to die is also where you can find us on all our social media, such as Twitter, Instagram, even Facebook, YouTube, where all our videos are, and pretty much every streaming platform. What about you, Jerome? Where are we finding you?
You can find me at Not Jerome Rhett on Instagram, as well as at RoboZoom Media and at Jerome_the_show to find other things I am working on creatively. And if you want to follow us, like as in the podcast and everything we do, including Jonathan, you can actually, first, before I even go there, to follow Jonathan, you can follow him at Jonathan Keys on Instagram, Twitter, or wherever you please. I remembered this time. So I add Jonathan Keys spelled Keyes, to find out more what he's got going on. But if you want to follow the entire podcast and everything we do, you can follow us at The First Ones to Die on all our social medias, including Instagram, Facebook, the Twitters, all that good stuff, as well as the podcast itself on all streaming platforms, stuff like Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. And if you want specialty stuff, including the podcast, but also extra things, go on over to our YouTube channel at The First Ones to Die as well, where you can find all types of extra content like gaming videos, blogs, mini reviews, book reviews, all types of stuff, as well as full video versions of all the podcasts that we've recorded so far. So if you want to go over there and check out that stuff, that's where you can find it.
And keep an eye, because I am looking to start a Twitch of watching those terrible, terrible films that I enjoy so much, and hopefully sharing it with like-minded people who love them just as much as me, even though they're just awful. I'll find people. There's got to be people who want to watch it with me.
And we also may also start doing some gaming content up there as well. We will keep you posted on all those things. Tune in next week when we review Sonic 2. It's going to be cool. I actually enjoyed the first one, so I am expecting to enjoy this next one. I'm a huge Sonic fan. Alex, are you a Sonic fan?
I love Sonic. That was like my game as a kid. It's real.
So be on the lookout for that, and as well as for Jonathan to be with us once again, and the whole crew.
Have a good night, all. Thank you for listening, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.